To understand why a Resident Evil open world game might not be successful, we first need to understand what open world means. In open world games, players have the freedom to explore a virtual world at their own pace, without being confined to a linear storyline or specific objectives. Players are often free to roam the game world, interact with NPCs, engage in side quests, discover hidden secrets, and shape the game world through their actions. The open world of open world games, in contrast to the enclosed and scary atmosphere of horror games, gives you a sense of freedom and liberation, which can disrupt the pacing and tension. Players could choose to avoid scary areas or simply wander off to explore, breaking the carefully crafted atmosphere. If you have played the first trilogy of this series, you probably know that those games were good at this. With fixed camera angles, you couldn't see everything around you, creating a constant sense of what might be lurking just out of sight. It kept you guessing. With dark and claustrophobic areas, the games took place in dark hallways, tight corridors, and dimly lit rooms. This limited visibility heightened your fear of the unknown and made you feel trapped and vulnerable. Scripted sections that catches the player off guard and triggers a fight or flight response. And one of the main part was resource management. You never had enough bullets or healing items to feel completely safe. This constant scarcity created a sense of tension and forced you to make tough decisions about how to use your resources. The limited information available to the player, combined with the constant threat of unseen horrors, made for a truly terrifying gameplay experience that cemented these games as horror classics. Resident Evil 4, despite being a masterpiece, overshadowed the survival horror element, with focusing more on action, but it used other ways to keep the horror in its pace. But with Resident Evil 5, the feeling of fear and vulnerability of the player completely disappeared, and Resident Evil 6, which was practically destroying the series by giving too much freedom of action to the player. Resident Evil's distinct pacing and horror elements are the result of a deliberate interplay of various design choices. The success of RE7 highlighted the series' desire to return to its roots. This likely influenced Capcom's decision to bring back the old formula, which made the two masterpieces games, Resident Evil 2 Remake and Resident Evil 4 Remake, each of which was the best in its own type and style. And we had also Village and the remake of 3. RE Village was ultimately an okay experience, but Resident Evil 3, it was a wasted potential, a movie with some playable parts in it. So with these explanations, we understand that the more control and freedom you give to the players, the more challenging it becomes to scare them. Open world does not match Resident Evil's DNA in any way, but Capcom can still utilize open world concepts effectively to enhance the Resident Evil 9 experience, like it did with RE Village and Resident Evil 4 Remake. Resident Evil 4 is of course a better example. There were enough side activities to provide a sense of variety and exploration without overwhelming or disrupting the game's pacing. This careful balance allowed us to engage in these activities without compromising the overall experience, and the developers knew that using too much for no reason could hurt our gaming experience, and we were not forced to do them. So what do you think? Could a Resident Evil open world game ever work? Why or why not? Share your thoughts in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and until next time.